Hi, this is James Day, and this is my second project for my Principles of Real Estate class. And today I'm helping Bill and Mary Jones out in deciding whether or not refinancing is in their best interest. Now, currently, you all have purchased a home for $265,500, and you all actually had to borrow for 80% of that. So the loan that you all took out is actually going to be equal to the price you paid times your loan to value ratio. So you all borrowed $212,400. And you guys are borrowing at a rate of 7%, which is good. But actually today we have a new rate, and most people are able to borrow at 5%. So we're going to see if that'll be able to help you out today. And you guys borrowed for a term of 30 years and had about $2,000 worth of appraisal, legal, and other fees whenever you borrowed. So let's figure out what your monthly payment is. We can do that in Excel using the payment function to see that you guys borrowed at a rate of 7%, but you guys are making monthly payments. So we'll divide that by 12 to figure out what your monthly rate is. Now the number of periods is actually going to be your 30 years that you borrowed for times 12 months, since you are making those monthly payments. And then the present value is actually going to be the loan amount that you borrowed, since you're not having to figure out what the rate is on the down payment that you paid. So currently your monthly payment is $1,413.10, which means that in a year you're making 12 of those payments. So your annual payment right now is $16,957.23. Now, the opportunity before you is that we are now 4 years into making these payments, and you have the opportunity to borrow at a 5% rate. So let's first calculate the balance on your new loan, which would be equal to the present value of the loan. So the rate that you had borrowed at would be 7%. Once again, we'll divide that by 12 since you made monthly payments. And the number of periods is actually going to be the 30 years that you borrowed for minus the 4 years of payments that you've already made. And we'll multiply that by 12 to figure out how much you have left. And the payments that you've been making are those monthly payments that we already calculated. So this shows that you have $202,787.93 as the balance still remaining on the loan. So we've now reduced the price that we've been paying from $265,500 down to almost $203,000. Now, to calculate our origination fee amount, that's going to be equal to the percentage of the fee times the total new balance on the loan. Now, Bill, I know you mentioned to me about not staying here forever, that your job may actually be moving you after 3 years to a new position. And so we're going to want to keep that in mind and take that into consideration. Now, the fees, including the appraisal legal fees, is that $2,000 like we discussed earlier. So now what we want to calculate is your new payments on the loan. So now we're able to fortunately borrow at this lower rate of 5%, and we'll divide that by 12 since we're making monthly payments. Our new term is still going to be that 30 years, and we'll multiply it by 12 to get us into months. And our present value is now, the balance here on our new loan that we have to repay. And that actually is that $1,088.61. I'll move it over there to keep things consistent. And so that new amount, that $1,088.61, is what you'd be paying per month, as opposed to that $1,413.10 that you'd had to put out each month. I'll go ahead and label these new loan calculations just to clarify this a little bit. So we have our fee amount that'll have to be paid, our fees that are $2,000. We'll go ahead and copy that over here as well. And that's our new payment amount, keep in mind, per month. So we'll go ahead and break it out into our new annual payment. And that's going to be obviously our monthly payment times 12. And so now you can see that we're only paying $13,000 a year. That's saving us almost $4,000 a year. Now, granted, for the next 3 years that we'd be making these payments. So hopefully, Bill, that'll give you about $12,000 that you can start to set aside, for other costs. Now we want to figure out what this loan is going to cost us up front, and then obviously what our payments are going to be on a going forward basis. Let me format this correctly here. So what we'd have to pay today, what we'd have to pay, a year from now, 2 years from now, and then on our final third year from today. Now today, the cost of our loan is going to be actually our fee amount. I'm going to make that negative just to demonstrate that that is what we'd have to pay today, less the flat fees. So that's our 1% origination fee is about $2,000, and then our fees for the appraisal and legal is also $2,000. So today, our cost to enter into this refinance would be about $4,027.88. Now each year we would be saving the difference between our new payment, which is lower than our original annual payment. So we'll go ahead and subtract that to demonstrate that we'd actually be saving ourselves or yourselves, about $4,000 per year. So about the amount that it cost us to get into this loan. We'll actually scroll that across just so that for each of these years you can see what it would be to, costing you or saving you each year. Now we'll want to do a payoff comparison so that you can see the difference and what your present situation would be today, which is after this 3-year period. So that would be 7 years into the loan. Now, like I said, that'd be 7 years from when you started. So for our old borrow amount, we'll call that the old loan, you would be 7 years in. And for a new loan, you'd have only been making those payments for 3 years. And we can do this to see how much you would have paid off from that total amount. Now to calculate that, we can use our present value function, which would be, for the old loan, we'd have to use that old higher rate. Remember, we want to divide that by 12 just to get to our monthly amount. Now our number of periods is actually going to be 30 minus the 7 years that you've already paid. Once again, times 12 to get to the monthly amount. And then the payment is actually going to be still that same payment as if you'd never refinanced in the first place. And so that shows that your balance would have been on the loan $193,597.11 is how much you would still have if you were not to go forward with the refinancing option. Now, if you were to go forward with the refinancing option, we'd be able to use that new rate, which is just that 5%. Of course, we'll divide that by 12 to get it into months. And now we'll do 30 years less the 3 that we would have made payments on already. Multiply that by 12. And then our new payment amount. And so this shows a very comparable number. And in fact, you actually would have paid off more doing the refinancing than you would have if you had stayed with the old loan and the old loan rate. Now these loan amounts are very comparable, but we'll go ahead and find out what the difference is down to a T. And so we'll take that old amount minus the new amount, and that gives us a positive $251.80 that you would have saved, or you would actually, in theory, receive by saving that in the third year of our loan. So I'm not sure what happened there. Let's see. We'll copy. I must have a formula in here. Go ahead and paste that as a value. Now find out what our totals are for each year. We can just use that sum function and just calculate the values above it and scroll through year 3 to find out each year what our totals would be. So that would show that up front we'd initially pay that $4,000, about $28. But then in the first year we'd receive almost $4,000. The second year we'd receive almost $4,000. And the third year we'd receive a little over $4,000. Now to figure out if this is actually a good investment avenue for us to pursue, we'd want to figure out what the internal rate of return is. And Bill, I noted that you've said you can pretty steadily earn a 10% rate of return just in the stock market alone. So 10% is really going to be the amount that we're trying to beat here to figure out if this is a good investment and avenue to put your money into. So you want to expect a higher than 10% rate of return. Now you'll see that this is an 81% rate of return, and that may be attributed to some negatives and the positives. Sometimes that can mess with our internal rate of return. So sometimes a more accurate way to pursue this is to figure out what the net present value would be. And the rate that I know that we're trying to beat that you said is that 10%. So I'll go ahead and put 0.1 to represent our 10%. And this is the net present value of our future cash flows. So we're only going to be paying attention to years 1, 2, and 3. Those are the future cash flows. And we're actually going to subtract, or in this case add, since our value is already a negative, what we'd actually have to pay out today. And now that gives us a NPV here of $5,844.90. Now, since that net present value is positive, that means that you should pursue this and that this would be a good investment for you. So ultimately, Bill and Mary, I recommend that you do refinance.